listening to the Stallion Radio Network.
Welcome to Movie Talk. I like to live dangerously.
Did you hear this?
Yes.
In the face.
And here are your hosts, Brian Seals, Brett Seals, and Vic Vasquez.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. Welcome to another spanking edition of Movie Talk.
How's it going, guys?
Pretty good. How are you?
Going well.
I'm Peachy.
Episode 101.
Yeah, episode 101.
They might learn something today.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. It should be
We might as well
learning
just say one, because to me, I feel like we're kind of starting over.
a little bit.
Could be like season 2, episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. We're on season 2.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, season 2. I like that. That's a good idea.
Long season 1.
Yeah, that is a
it's
real
come and ended, which you
100
cannot
episodes.
find in a store anywhere because it won't be out on DVD or anywhere. But we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we really do. Of course, you got to have your episode 7 on there a little bit.
Yes.
This is probably the most 50 Shades of Grey we've ever had.
It's funny. I've actually seen a lot of people on my Facebook like disappointed, and like me, I almost like I wanted to comment, but I kind of like felt like not to because I know I would have had a lot of people like attack me.
Well, you'll get the chance to comment when we talk about it. So just wait. You'll get your chance. Well, we got the quote down.
Yes.
We'll reveal that towards the end of the show, but we'll get on this day in movie history. October 15th is today's date, and back in 1940, Charlie Chaplin's thinly veiled attack on Hitler, the great dictator, premiered. The film, banned in Peru, Spain, and Japan, also caused a stir among the British Film Censors Board and the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, as it was feared that Chaplin's virulent film might run counter to policies of appeasement toward Hitler. When this film was released, Adolf Hitler banned it in Germany and all countries occupied by the Nazis. Curiosity eventually got the best of him, and he had a print brought in through Portugal. He screened it not once, but twice. Unfortunately, history did not record his reaction to the film. When told of this, Charlie Chaplin said, "I'd give anything to know what he thought of it." And I've actually, I've seen some clips from it from this before, him dressed as Hitler.
Oh, I've actually watched it.
I never saw it actually.
Is that where he got his mustache from?
I don't know. I think
Could have been.
it reminds me of what movie was it?
Glorious Bastards, where he's watching.
No.
Isn't he watching something in that?
It's I don't know. He might have been. I was thinking of I don't remember what movie it was. It might have been Horrible Bosses. Or no. It was Going the Distance that had Jason Bateman.
Oh yeah.
Where he's talking
Charlie
about
Day had the like we were trying to like.
he was dressed as Charlie Chaplin.
Well, yeah, but he did it too much, so he just.
Well, I mean,
had the
they do.
Hitler
They
mustache.
have the same mustache. They
Well, yeah,
really
they
do.
do.
But I don't
And
know.
it's funny too because I think after he did The Great Dictator is when he was thrown out of the United States.
Didn't he have the mustache before he did that film?
Yeah.
So I mean, that was just pure coincidence. Of course, they changed the name. The character he played wasn't named Hitler in the movie, but
everyone knew.
That's who he was playing. I wonder
Everyone.
what Hitler thought of it, because he was a pretty big movie buff actually. So I wonder. I mean, it's a propaganda film too, so he was a big propaganda film buff. But
I'm sure he was like Kevin Smith when he was mentioned on like Entourage and whatnot.
I'm sure.
Just to get for me, I mean, if you got mentioned or like had someone like play you,
yeah.
I'd be like, that's what's up.
Well, also on this day, 1987, Bertolucci's The Last Emperor premieres in Argentina. The historical work eventually wins all of the 9 Oscars for which it is nominated, a distinction shared by 1958's Gigi. Titanic and The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King later topped this feat by winning all of the 11 Oscars for which they were both nominated. So 4 times in history that a film has gotten a full sweep of all the Oscars it's been nominated for. But
Yeah,
it's a rare feat.
it is a rare feature when you can get that.
That's pretty impressive. But that's what happened on this
That just shows
day.
you that's a damn good movie.
Yeah. But that's what happened on this day, October 15th.
Nice. Well, we have some DVD releases to talk about. We have 2 that are now out to talk about and mention. Didn't see any of them, sadly.
Both of them did very well, though.
Yeah, they both did very well. we'll talk about the Heat right now. Melissa McCarthy, Sandra Bullock.
Yeah. Before Gravity, it was Sandra Bullock's biggest opening. So she had a pretty successful year, I'd say.
I would say so too. Not to mention Melissa McCarthy too.
Yeah,
It's
she's
quite hilarious too, actually.
I never saw
you
it.
did
I
see
saw
it?
it. Yeah, it was
I saw
surprisingly
her
pretty
other one
funny.
with Jason Bateman,
Identity Thief, yeah.
or whatever, and that one was hilarious.
Surprisingly pretty funny. Yeah, I thought.
Like,
so.
I mean, honestly, like I wasn't at first when I saw the trailer for it, I wasn't expecting much, but then like when I actually sat down, I was like, okay, she reminds me of a female version of Jonah Hill.
It was one of those movies that screwed us over in the box office.
It did.
Yeah. Kind of came out of nowhere.
And Pacific Rim.
Guillermo del
DVD,
Toro's.
yeah.
And actually it eventually became the most profitable movie of 2013.
Yeah, surprisingly. And to me, like I saw the trailer and I don't know. I wasn't like interested in seeing it.
It just looked like another Transformers.
Yeah, it did. Not to mention it had Charlie Day in it too, which I was like kind of baffled by.
Yeah, that was
There was a lot of Charlies in that movie.
there really were.
Yeah, there was.
But yeah, that was surprising to see Charlie Day in there. I'm hearing for the sequel that he might be playing the villain role actually,
Really?
which would be kind of interesting to see because he's more of a comedic actor.
Well, yeah.
Didn't see
that's
the
all I
film.
see him in is stuff that's like a comedic performance.
Yeah.
But wow. But yeah, those are the 2 DVDs that are now out in a store near you. So if you're big fans of those, go pick them up. And now it's time for the box office results.
2 weeks in a row.
Take a bow.
Go ahead, Dad. Take a bow. I got it right last week, right? 2 weeks in a row.
No, that was me.
Oh, yeah.
That's Vic.
That was me.
Oh yeah, it's because of Parkland. So if I would have known that Parkland was a limited release, this might have been my 3rd week in a row of getting it right.
Yeah, whatever helps you sleep at night.
But I've been doing. This is the first time I've gotten.
I'm on a dry spell right now.
Yeah, you really are. I can't remember the last time you got one right.
I can't either. That's how long it's been.
But I've gotten 2 in the past 3 weeks, so I'm proud of
Well,
myself.
At number 10 was Baggage Claim, which made $2 million. At number 9 was Don John, which made 2.3. At number 8 was Rush, which almost made 2.4. At number 7 was Insidious Chapter 2, which made 2.7. At number 6 was Prisoners, which made 3.6. At number 5 was Runner Runner, which made 3.7. At number 4 was Machete Kills, which made 3.8. At number 3 was Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, which made 13.7. At number 2 was Captain Phillips, which made 25.7. And at number 1 was Gravity, which made $43.1 million.
Which we'll go ahead and talk about what we recently saw.
Yes. I didn't get to see any of the new releases, sadly. I actually just stayed in and watched a horror film since it's October. I watched ATM because I remember seeing the trailer and it had Josh Peck in it, which is I think he's a good actor.
Up and coming.
Up and coming actor. So I gave it a shot and very disappointed in it.
I wonder.
I felt like, because it had a good premise to it, but
Did an ATM come to life and start
no,
killing
it didn't
people?
come
or-
to life. That probably would have made it a little bit more better, I think, actually. I felt like they had a great, premise to it, and then, they kind of ran out of ideas, so they just, threw, stuff together, and it was a mess.
Yep, that happens sometimes. That's why I never heard of the movie, actually.
I'm sure if you saw the trailer, you probably would remember it.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, Mr. Pita, no.
Did we ever talk about it on Movie Talk?
I think we did, maybe. I don't remember. I would have to look at when it came out again, but I remember the trailer, and I always oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember really. But one of the movies, I saw 2 movies. And one of the movies I saw was, and I'll go ahead and give you guys a little tip here. If you're a Netflix goer, and I know everybody here at this table is.
We have a love-hate relationship. At least I do with Netflix.
No, you're not alone on that one. I kind of.
How do you watch Netflix? Is it through?
I watch it through my Xbox or my phone, depending on where I'm at.
Yeah,
so.
see, I've done that a couple times when I'm nothing to do at work. It's boring. It's slow night. I'll watch something.
Well, I've recently discovered, I guess you can call it a cheat. I told you about it already.
Yeah.
For people who are upset with Netflix, like Vic is and I am at times, they kind of lack on movies. Adding movies, they take a long time. So I have a solution for people who watch Netflix through their computer. So what you do, if you have Google Chrome, then you're okay. If you don't have Google Chrome, you download Google Chrome, and then through Google Chrome, you search for a place. It's an extension called Ola Unblocker, and you download this, and then you go to Netflix on Google Chrome, and then in the right part of your browser, there's an American flag, and you click on that, and it gives you options to like click on the Canadian flag or like Great Britain or whatever. And by doing that, what it's doing is it's giving you, like let's say you click on Great Britain's flag, it gives you Great Britain's version of Netflix, and it gives you a whole different variety of movies that aren't on the U.S. version of Netflix. So there's tons of movies. They're more updated than we are. Like they already have The Hobbit, which is it just recently came on TV, but it's already on Netflix. They have movies that came out last year, crazy, but
Excuse me?
yeah, it's pretty crazy. They got a lot of movies, but I finally got to watch a movie I've been wanting to see for a long time because it was on Great Britain's Netflix, and that was Adaptation, which stars Nicolas Cage, Meryl Streep, and Chris Cooper. A Spike Jonze film, written by Charlie Kaufman, who wrote Being John Malkovich, Eternal Sunshine. It's about a lovelorn scriptwriter grows increasingly desperate in his quest to adapt the book The Orchid Thief. And it's kind of funny because Charlie Kaufman wrote it, but the main character in the movie is Charlie Kaufman, so he wrote himself into the screenplay.
Why not?
So, I mean, he's my favorite screenwriter. He's a genius. I mean, three hits right there. An Adaptation, Being John Malkovich, and Eternal Sunshine. So, I really liked it a lot. If you it's not on the US version of Netflix, but if you want to go ahead and get the extended version of Netflix, you could check it out on Great Britain's Netflix. And then the other movie that Vic and I both saw, Gravity, which was spectacular.
It was definitely one of the best looking movies, if not possibly the best, to date.
Yeah,
And it was good. It was really good.
I got the plot here. It's if you didn't already know what it's about a medical engineer and an astronaut work together to survive after an accident leaves them adrift in space. It starred Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. Only 2 actors in the film, really. I mean, there were other people, but I mean, they didn't really. Not a big.
They didn't really contribute too
There
much.
was literally like 4 people in the movie, so they didn't have to pay a lot of people.
One of them was a voice too. So.
Yeah. But
Ed Harris was like Mission Control Houston.
Yeah,
kind of
Houston.
Thing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that was like his second movie where he was Mission Control too.
Was it?
I'm
Wasn't
pretty
he
sure.
was he in Apollo?
What?
Was he in Apollo?
I don't remember if it was Apollo. No.
Armageddon.
Wasn't it Armageddon?
One of those.
You don't even know.
Well, there's so many space movies. Come on.
But I thought that was pretty impressive. An actor and an actress, so they didn't have. They paid them obviously.
They
but
should have had an Easter egg where they had Wilson,
yeah.
the volleyball in space,
Why?
just for an Easter egg to pay homage to.
If it was a Tom Hanks movie, I would see it, but why would I don't know.
Honestly, I mean, if you think about it, I've read about like so many different Easter eggs. Like recently, they're in Star Wars, Phantom Menace. There is a scene where there's like a council meeting, and like if you look like freeze frame it, like,
Isn't it
close,
E.T.
Yeah,
in one of them
E.T.
or something? Yeah.
is in, which it's weird.
Directed by Alfonso Cuarón and written by Alfonso Cuarón and his brother Jonas Cuarón. So I definitely recommend it. You have to see it in 3D. I wanted to see it in IMAX, didn't get the chance to, but
I saw it in normal,
Really?
normal, and it was still really good looking. Yeah.
I kept hearing a lot of people went to the Riverbank Theater because they have the
Motion seats,
and they said that was pretty cool too.
yeah, see,
That's
that's not a big
I've
factor
never
to
actually
me.
been on the motion like the seats like that, so I'm not sure how
But
that actually feels. But
well,
I mean, compared to the one in like Great America when they had Days of Thunder, and
See-
like the seats. I mean, I've done that, but as far as the actual movie, I wouldn't mind just check it out one time, see what it's like.
yeah, see, I may have to go down there for a certain movie and check it out.
well, you got Vic saying that it was amazing in 2D, but in 3D it was crazy. I guarantee this film will win the visual effects Oscar. I guarantee it. Sandra Bullock's gonna definitely get nominated as well. She was really great. So
And we were talking about last week how it was, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
was up for the role that George Clooney did, and I really couldn't. Now I couldn't really see him
I couldn't either.
or Scarlett Johansson as Sandra Bullock's character.
Yes.
So.
See, once the movie comes out and you hear those things, like I said,
Yeah,
you
it's
can't
hard- it's
picture
hard.
it without who was in it.
Yeah.
But definitely a great movie. Definitely going to be Oscar nominated. So check out Gravity and ATM, I guess, on Netflix if you want. Adaptation on Great Britain Netflix.
Or as Vic has called it, which I kind of have to agree with, ass to mouth.
Yeah, ass to mouth.
That was off air, man. That was off air.
Yeah, that was off air, Brian.
Yeah, well, I had to bring it on there because that's what it was.
All right, well, let's get into some news here. We're gonna start off with 50 Shades of Grey because that was kind of the big story this past
A
week.
lot of heartbreak women out there disappointed.
Charlie Hunnam, whatever.
Hannum.
I don't watch.
Just call him Jax.
I don't watch Sons of Anarchy, so
Boo,
you do. So
boo, yeah.
you're qualified. You can talk about it. But Deadline reported this past week that Charlie
Hunnam.
there you go.
Why not?
Has bailed on the adaptation of the best-selling trilogy 50 Shades of Grey. Kind of disappointing if you're a female and really love him, I guess.
I don't know. I've heard kind of like mixed. Like I know a lot of all the females actually are
upset a little bit.
upset that he's leaving. But then I've actually heard some basically were saying like he never deserved the role to begin with.
Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews on it as well.
But as far as like the people that I know, like personally wise, like they're really like disappointed because they like are goo goo gaga for this guy.
Universal Studios and Focus Features, who are producing the film, they came out with a statement saying the filmmakers of 50 Shades of Grey and Charlie Hunnam have agreed to find another male lead, given Hunnam's immersive TV schedule, which is not allowing him time to adequately prepare for the role of Christian Grey, which I call bullshit automatically here because
Yeah, obviously that just.
yeah.
I mean, you think they would have had that issue like
When he first got
when he
casted,
first.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's like something they're not wanting to like throw
Mm-hmm.
out to the public. Like something obviously went down that went sour or something.
I mean, he gets naked all the time on Sons of Anarchy, so it's not like that's a problem.
That's why he got the
so,
role.
yeah.
Probably. But
Put some clothes on, Jax.
Sons of Anarchy is currently still going on. Its final episode airs on December 3rd, with no news about plans for a 7th season. So it's unclear exactly how Sons of Anarchy would suddenly be messing up the schedule. If with no 7th season planned yet, I mean, the movie doesn't come out until August 1st of 2014. So, like you said, there's more to this. And we will get to that. But now it kind of, it leaves questions about what about Dakota Johnson, who's playing Anastasia Steele in the film. Michael Rothman from ABC News suggests that Dakota Johnson may also drop out after Charlie Hunnam dropped out this past week. Hunnam said, "We both suggested I do a reading with Dakota, who was Taylor Johnson, who's the director of the film. Dakota was her favorite. As soon as we got in the room, I knew that I definitely wanted to do it. There's just a tangible chemistry between us. It felt exciting and fun and weird and compelling." So, if it was what Hunnam called the tangible chemistry between Johnson and Hunnam that kind of got the actors to do the movie, does that, I mean, with that chemistry now broken that Hunnam's gone, I mean, that kind of, what about Dakota Johnson? This movie's kind of falling apart a little bit.
It kind of is. I mean, because you gotta have chemistry with your co-star, otherwise it's just you're not gonna click. And so, like, honestly, I could see her possibly kind of debating whether or not she still wants to stay a part of the project, unless she can find, or the studio can find another person that she can click with and have just as much chemistry as she did with Charlie.
I mean, although Charlie was the one that talked about this tangible chemistry, so she might feel comfortable being, co-starring alongside with
she
somebody
might not
else.
even think
She might not
about
care,
chemistry.
yeah.
She might just thinking about like, I'm getting a paycheck, so it ain't really gonna matter to me.
A little more truth behind this, because like I said, the Sons of Anarchy thing doesn't really have that much of effect on it. The Hollywood Reporter reports that Patrick Marber, the Oscar-nominated screenwriter of Notes on a Scandal and Closer, was hired on Friday to do a rewrite of Kelly Marcel's script for 50 Shades of Grey, which kind of plays a little more of a factor. The Hollywood Reporter also has a few actors that might be considered for the now vacant slot of Christian Grey, including UK TV star Jamie Dornan, who I've never heard of before, but True Blood's Alexander Skarsgård right now is looking like the
top candidate,
the front runner, yeah. So, I mean, one factor is, obviously being on True Blood. He's also in a TV series, so, I guess right off the bat, you might have to worry about TV schedule or whatever. But what I'm getting here is that maybe Hunnam he dropped out because he was unhappy with the original script.
Oh yeah, the script. If you're not happy with the script, then you're not gonna want to do it. And if they're having to do a rewrite,
yeah,
that kind of may say something that the script wasn't that good to begin with.
And it makes a little more sense, like I said, because Sons of Anarchy wouldn't interfere with their production schedule for 50 Shades of Grey, so it seems more reasonable. But I mean, what I don't get is why would he drop out? Why didn't he just wait to have the script be rewritten instead of dropping out? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think maybe like he like read it and like told them like, the script's not very good, and they probably took it as an offense. Maybe, who knows?
I mean, he obviously had to read the script before he took the role, so he should have noticed that right away. So I mean, I'm thinking
there's a lot of answers that need to be answered, and like
a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Yes, well, I like my
no,
a lot of answers that need to be answered for us.
Yeah, well, what I'm thinking is maybe. I mean, he talked about this chemistry that he got right away with Dakota Johnson. Maybe he started trying to develop a personal relationship with Dakota Johnson or something. And that tangible chemistry, as he called it, died somehow. You see that all the time. Co-stars, they date in real life and sort of thing. I wonder, because, I mean, obviously we know how erotic the movie's going to get. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he tried to develop some sort of personal relationship with Dakota Johnson, and maybe that affected it, and that's what happened. That's the only thing that seems to make sense.
I mean, if he really was wanting to do that, he should have waited like when they started filming, because that's what most actors do. I mean, if you look at not Gwen Stefani, but
we can look at Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, we could look
fine.
at Gwen. Yeah,
but, I mean, we could look at her, but I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about Emma Stone.
We can look at her too.
And Andrew from Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield, yeah. Yeah, I mean that happens all the time. I'm guessing that's my opinion. What might have happened, because if the script's being rewritten, if he didn't like it, he would have known right off the bat when he took the role that I don't like the script. That's what I'm getting.
Maybe he just signed on for the name.
Or
like,
that,
hey,
yeah.
Why not? It's gonna make me some money.
Yeah, before reading the script. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't have the Bryan Cranston ranking system.
Probably not. He might need to.
he needs to develop
hit
one.
Bryan Cranston up and figure out how to pick his roles.
But I don't know. What do you guys think about Alexander Skarsgård as Christian Grey? He's getting some. I want to say he's in. I don't know what he's slated for. Is it Frankenstein or Godzilla? I can't remember.
I think it was Frankenstein.
But I mean, he's on True Blood. I've never watched True Blood.
I've watched certain episodes. I mean, I haven't watched all of it, so I'm sure if I started watching from beginning to like now, I probably would enjoy it. But
I was totally wrong. It was neither one of those films.
I mean, I keep hearing that's a good show, and he's I keep hearing his name, so I mean, he definitely is an upcoming actor that people are gonna know within the years to come.
He was in Battleship, but that didn't do so well.
Yeah, you're not. You kind of just made my case.
Yeah, it's not a movie when Rihanna's in it, so.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a weird casting, but
And Liam Neeson and Rihanna. Yeah, that sounds good.
That's just a weird combo. I don't get what.
Sometimes I feel like Hollywood just has cards with actors' name on the wall, and they throw a dart at let's get them.
That's.
And they're on a battleship, and it's in the ocean. They're just throwing stuff everywhere.
South Park needs to get an episode like that.
World War Zimmerman. Anybody watch that one?
Zimmerman. Hey.
Fist bump, bro. Fist bump. Fist bump, bro.
South Park's fucked up.
I love it though. I love it.
But I don't know. We will. I'm sure we're gonna get some.
I'm sure within,
additional stories on
it. We'll get more. We're gonna move to television now since we're kind of going that way, anyways. The Walking Dead premiered this past weekend, and my God, love it. I love it.
I really like the direction it's already going in.
Yeah,
so far.
Same here. I'm I kind of got on the edge of my seat near the end of it. I'm like, oh my God, shit's gonna hit the fan.
If you haven't watched it,
don't worry, we're not gonna spoil.
No, I'm gonna spoil it. Yeah,
man.
So if you haven't watched it yet, stop listening, because the direction it's going so far, the way it ended with that what was his name, Patrick?
Yeah.
He didn't get bit.
No, he didn't.
He did shake hands with Daryl though, and he went, and then he shook his hand. Maybe Daryl just gave him cooties.
There you go. I didn't see that.
Daryl gave him cooties, and there you go.
I actually didn't think about that, but I
don't think it's that, but that's a good observation though.
No, I don't know, because at the beginning of the episode, you saw Rick go to that barrel of water and splash the water in his face, and then you saw Patrick in the shower. And he was coughing and stuff. He was coughing all over the barrel of water, which was behind the shower, which made the shower come out of the water spout. But it seems like the disease is going airborne.
Yeah, see, that's a lot of people. He said that on The Talking Dead, but
yeah.
I mean,
that's the way it's
I
looking.
don't think it's airborne. I feel like it's more of something food-wise, because if you think about it, the pig.
What about the pig?
The pig that they were like kind of like, oh, what's wrong with the pig? It's just laying there.
He died. Yeah.
Exactly, but how?
If he,
Airborne.
we don't know.
I don't think it's
could
food.
be
That
airborne.
doesn't-
But if you think about it, I really started thinking about this too, because honestly, like if humans die, they automatically turn
Yes.
to zombies
Everyone
unless they
turns
get
into-
shot in the head. But like you think about animals now too, like you start thinking like if the animal dies,
That's what I'm saying. If it's airborne, anybody can get it. I don't think. I mean,
It could be like I Am
I
Legend,
feel like
where the dog.
like the food, like something was
doesn't mean-
contaminated for him to get sick and to turn that way.
I don't.
Because I mean, the way he was acting, like he almost acted like he ate something that kind of wasn't agreeing with him, and then boom.
Well, if you get, I mean, if it's airborne, you're gonna get sick and you're gonna start turning. That's what I'm saying. That's what he felt. I don't think it has to do
Well,
with
you.
food, but
I mean, everybody already has it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not
True.
Yeah.
there's obviously more. That's speculation.
Oh yeah, there's like it's up in the air. Like
They said that on
kinda-
Talking Dead.
Yeah, they said on Talking Dead that it was like a.
I hate Chris Hart, whatever his name is.
Oh, I didn't watch the whole thing.
I don't
kinda,
like him.
I kind of watched maybe like first 5 to 10 minutes of it, and then I flipped it. But yeah, they were talking about it like, oh, it could possibly be airborne, but
That's what I'm guessing.
I mean, because
Makes
honestly,
sense.
like they kind of left clues for us, but like it's unclear. But like
Somebody,
me, I can't thinking back like, okay, there's the pig that was not like it was motionless, wasn't like
It's
nothing.
next week.
They're eating like that food supplies, like so. Honestly, like it could have been a contamination situation there.
Well, next week that is going to be a zombie pig. I think we know that much because I mean there was kind of a connection between that. They named the pig after Rick told Carl not to name the pig, and then later in the episode you saw those kids in front of the fence. They were naming the zombie.
Yeah,
There's a connection there.
yeah.
Don't name the pig. Don't name the zombie. There's a connection that. So I mean I don't know. I think it's airborne, but we'll see on this upcoming Sunday's
Yeah.
episode.
Well,
But
we're gonna continue talking about The Walking
Yeah.
Dead because, my God, it debuted this past week and it broke a record.
yeah, a big one actually.
Yeah, had 16.1 million viewers its premiere episode, and you said it was more than even the final episode of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, if that just proves how crazy it is. I mean, Breaking Bad, which won the Emmy for the most outstanding drama, it got like 10.3 for the series finale. This is just the season 4 premiere, and it got over 6 more
16.1
viewers.
million total viewers and 10.4 million adults aged from 18 to 49 demographic, which that's crazy.
Everyone
Of
loves
all
the
ages,
show.
yeah, of all ages.
I mean, that's why they're doing the spin-off now.
It continues to be the #1 show on all television among the converted 18 to 49 demographic 2013 to 14 season to date. Last week's premiere ranks as the #1 telecast in adults of 18 to 49, outperforming all programs including primetime NFL football with time-shifted playback last night. The premiere exceeded over 20 million viewers.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts from that
crazy.
episode was when Rick took back a sandwich or whatever was
Oh,
on that
yeah, you
tinfoil.
mentioned that.
Yeah, he just like took it back and he was walking away. He's like, "That's mine now."
Yeah, see, I
Which
kind
is funny.
of like that was another thing I enjoyed about the episode. Like the characters from the last season, it's like they're kind of switched roles in a way. Like Daryl to me seems more like the go-to leader, and Rick is now just like the kind of man that kind of just is in the corner now, like
Yeah.
not wanting to deal with violence because honestly, like I mean, Herschel was like, "Take your gun.
Yeah.
You have to take your gun."
And that
It was a
actually
sweet
saved
leg,
them
too.
in the episode.
It did. But I mean, it's like the roles are reversed. and
Yeah.
It's like I like it. It's like
Well, if you remember, at the end of season 2, Rick kind of declared himself as the leader, and then at the end of season 3, he said that it's a collective thing. He's not really classified as a leader, but yeah, I mean, Daryl's the one that's been going out on runs whenever they need supplies. I mean, he's the badass on the show.
yes.
I mean,
and
he's probably the
they're,
most popular.
The council that they have started now.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's definitely a good start. I like and even the creator of the show or of the comic books, he said it's his favorite season. So
And we still have no idea where the governor is.
Yeah,
he's
that's-
always lurking around.
Well,
so-
Michonne is looking for him apparently.
yeah, she is.
She thinks he's in Macon.
well, I don't know. I mean, it's I heard that the time gap between season 3 and 4 is like 6 or 7 months. So yeah, it makes you wonder where's the
from
governor.
I think it's
it's
6
like
months.
six,
It's like
7
5
months.
to 6 months from what they said on The Talking Dead, the creator.
Yeah, I read about.
But yeah. So
Very.
I have a feeling shit's gonna like go down in a way where we're gonna be like all amazed. But definitely the #1 show on television right now, I think, is The Walking Dead.
Yep, absolutely.
But moving away from television news, I had to bring this on here because we've talked about this before, and I'm actually relieved to hear.
It's happy news.
Yeah, to me it is happy news because for once I almost want to go to the studio and be like, God bless you.
Shake your hand.
I want to shake your hand because you finally have some sense in your freaking head now. It actually was announced almost 2 years ago. Relative Media and Hasbro revealed that they were going to make a Stretch Armstrong movie. Well, now it is no more. Thank the gods.
Yeah.
I honestly...
I think the failure of Battleship...
I think after Battleship, they kind of realized...
yeah, we don't want to do that.
We gotta, really rethink our strategy here.
That's good. They're starting to finally realize that can't make any more bombs.
I mean, there's some, things you just cannot really make a movie out of, and I think this right here is proof. Especially after them doing Battleship was an epic failure.
It just means that Nicolas Cage is out of a job.
Pretty much.
He was probably going to be Stretch.
He probably would have. I had no doubt in my mind.
Can you
Poor
imagine
Nick.
him that though? Oh man, that would have been.
Yeah, I don't know how you can make that a movie either. I wondered that. We talked about that when we first reported it.
Well, I still remember the commercials for the toy, and I mean they consider that toy now to be an antique collector's piece.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really you're gonna make a movie out of it?
That'd be like them making a movie out of a Slinky.
Which they were talking about at one point.
Yeah.
Simon Says.
No,
I haven't
not
heard about
that
that
one.
one.
Bop it.
But I mean,
Just
the way I think about it, it just now kind of dawns on me. I'm thinking about Stretch Armstrong. It almost is like a rip-off version of Inspector Gadget.
And Mr. Fantastic from Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm.
It just there's just some things you should not do and turn something into a movie. And
Where's the Inspector Gadget remake? Where's that at?
I hope that never happens.
I mean, after the first two they've done,
you never know.
It died.
Yeah, you never know.
It died. But yeah, Hollywood, you never know. They could revive something.
I hope not.
But I think Relativity Media has gotten wiser now after certain failures of Hasbro.
Weren't there a couple other Hasbro projects?
Yeah,
that
they're actually...
They get canceled as well?
Well, back in 2008, Hasbro did team up with Universal. They were planning on making a movie that had Taylor Lautner attached to it, but that project
what movie
didn't take out.
For what toy?
They don't.
Well, what about... Was it a Slinky movie that...
It probably was. I don't know.
I was only kidding.
But I think that was actually talked about. I think
it was
so.
talked about. There were several Hasbro... When Battleship was,
coming out,
they had a lot of Hasbro... projects in the works, and I think most of them died.
Oh, it was board games, wasn't it? Life or something. Life
was talked about, but I think Monopoly wasn't.
But board games, toys, there's no story in that really. It's just what can we adapt.
I mean, honestly, I think the only board game that has been successful that was turned into a movie was Jumanji, which is being remade.
But that was actually a movie before it was a board game, so it was actually the way.
Well, still
Clue. People kind of like that movie. I mean,
and it was good. I will say that in a corny way, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
There was Red Steel, or what was it, Real Steel, or whatever, for Rock'em Sock'em.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That was the other one.
Red Steel was I think a Wii game.
Yeah, it was Real Steel.
Yeah.
Who was it? Hugh
Jackman.
And that one was pretty good.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. That was Disney. I think.
Well, that's Disney.
Yeah, Disney. They got their stuff on.
Let's put it this way: if it's not a Hasbro game, I think it has some possibility.
We're just bashing Hasbro right now on our show.
They'll never sponsor us now, apparently.
But it's time for this week's edition of Vic's Picks.
I need some like a guitar solo or something to start this off. I need some music.
I can't play guitar,
we
so
need a
you're
soundbite.
We need something. But this week's Vic's Pick is a 2006 comedy / horror movie, Slither, which runs about an hour and 35 minutes. It's directed by James Gunn, who's actually was his directorial debut. He's also going to be doing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
So this was his first movie. He also did the screenplay for 2004's Dawn of the Dead. And he directed Super with Rainn Wilson, Ellen Page, Liv Tyler, and Kevin Bacon. So, I see you brought it up there.
Yeah, I have it on IMDb.
It stars Elizabeth Banks, Nathan Fillion, and Merle, of course, Michael Rooker.
Yeah.
So soon after, an alien parasite lands in Wellesley, South Carolina, and infects Grant. And that's played by Merle. I'm just gonna call him Merle from here on
Yeah,
out.
from The Walking Dead.
I know what
Moral.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah, I actually saw this in theaters, and this was a long time ago. And to look back on it now, I'm like, oh hey, that really is
like
Merle.
when
yeah.
I was actually coming up with our list, like
Yeah.
for our
The
horror
horror movies.
films, like I was looking at old like horror films, and there was one where it had him in it. And I was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Yeah, so soon after he starts spreading the alien parasite to their residents, no one notices his odd behavior early on except for his wife Starla Grant, played by Elizabeth Banks. Soon after, it's up to Starla, Nathan's police officer Bill Party, and the remaining non-infected to put an end to the town's nightmare. IMDb has it at a 6.4 out of 10. A little bit of trivia for you. Rob Zombie has a voice in the movie. He plays like a doctor or something. And then Pam from The Office is also in it too. It came out in March 31st, 2006. Debuted at number 8, so it didn't even make the top 5, top 4. Nothing.
I remember when the trailer came out. I can't remember like they showed it like the trailer of the girl. I can't remember like exactly.
Shit, like in a tub or something with the little thing going in.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
that's the
not
poster.
just that. Like I can't remember the exact line where she's like, "Something's wrong with me."
And then she probably puked. Let's see. So it only made 3.8 when it debuted at number 8. It fell off the boards pretty quickly. I was kind of checking the standings for it, if you will, in the weeks to come. It fell off pretty quick.
Yeah, it was like one of those movies where it was a hit and miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the top 5 for that weekend, anyways. Number 5 was V for Vendetta, which was still going on.
Oh yeah, that was a popular movie.
Number 5. It was in its third week already. Number 4 was Failure to Launch, which I believe was Matthew McConaughey or something.
Yeah.
Number 3 was ATL, which I think was T.I.
Yeah.
Like a T.I. movie. Number 2 was Inside Man.
That was good.
That was pretty good, actually, yeah. And then number 1 is Ice Age The Meltdown.
Oh yeah,
Those animation
Yeah,
movies.
those animation. It's the damn squirrel, man.
Yeah.
Oh, the little, what's his name, like Rut or Scratch?
Yeah, I don't
Scrant
remember.
or
I just
something.
remember that squirrel trying to go after that nut.
Yeah.
But Rotten Tomatoes found that Slither was generally embraced by critics with a rating of 85% fresh. And the movie was also featured in April 14th, 2006 issue of Entertainment Weekly as number 1 on the must list. So pretty much everybody was liking this movie, but I guess it just didn't do well.
What a lot of hard competition, so I can see why.
It looks like Ebert and Roper gave it 2 thumbs down, unfortunately.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So overall, production cost was about $15 million. It actually only ended up making about 12.8. So it lost some money.
Yeah, they lost money. That's never a good sign.
But it is on Netflix, so it's a comedy horror movie. I figured it's kind of fitting as well.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's this week's Vic's pick. So
Good pick.
There you go.
See,
Very good pick. It's like a blast from the past.
yeah, I
That's
like
it.
that.
I was watching it the other day just to kind of catch up on it too, and it's still pretty funny and it does the job. So feel free to check it out.
See, I like where it's
See,
a
that's
horror
where-
film,
see,
but it's a
that-
comedy.
That's where I've been spending most of my time lately, like watching because it's October.
I guarantee you, it's better than ATM.
Yeah,
it
I
probably
would
is.
say so
No,
as well.
like honestly, like there's
It's got Elizabeth Banks in it. man.
there's some movies where like in the horror section where like it's been taking me back because
Yeah.
they have like the Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which I know it's a silly freaking movie, but I love it because I grew up watching it. And I mean, they just have old classic like horror films on there like that you don't find anywhere else, and it's awesome.
Have any of you guys been watching AMC's Fright Fest, where they just show horror movies throughout the entire month of October?
I have, but like some of them I can't get
Yeah,
into because
some
they
of
show
them.
like Halloween, which
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of, or
I'm not a big fan of Friday the
or,
13th.
yeah, I'm not either. It's to me, it's Freddy. It's Freddy or nothing.
Yeah. Which, by the way, you could talk about what you posted on our Twitter about the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes, I'm sure if you haven't checked our like any of our pages,
It's on our Twitter,
Yeah, it's
Instagram,
on our Twitter. It's
our personal Instagram.
yeah, our personal Instagram, Facebook. We are doing our own Nightmare on Elm Street project.
Yeah, I mean, you got the full get up. You got the like a serious like Hollywood prop mask. Got the hand, like the burnt hand, and then you got the glove and everything.
Yes.
So
The hat.
the hat,
Yeah, the hat,
the sweater, everything. Just got to get the fake teeth, the false teeth.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm hoping to start shooting like around February-ish.
I'm
So-
ready. I've already been studying.
Yeah. So once we get closer to the actual filming of it, we'll let you guys know more about
I've
it.
only put the mask on once, and it creeped our mother out. For God's
Yeah,
sakes.
it really did. It is. It's
It scared me over Facebook, actually.
Yeah, see, I
Lifelike.
posted,
I was like,
I posted a picture that you took of me, like, looking inside the window,
Yeah.
and I've had several people, like, if you literally were outside my window, you would have scared the shit out of me. So, like, obviously, I'm gonna be, like, seriously, on Halloween night, I'll say this right now, Halloween night, come down Elm Avenue over here, you'll see me in full costume. I'm gonna be terrorizing children.
I want
all
to do.
night.
I want to do some test shots that night when you put on the costume, kind of.
I'm actually thinking about putting it on even before then too, like a couple times.
Yeah, because
Just walk around.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
not
go to
only
Wa-
that,
just go
but
to
I mean,
Walmart.
You got Halloween
yeah. I
parties.
said you should go through a drive-through.
You got Halloween parties
that.
coming on around here soon too, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like kind of advertising maybe myself out there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He posted on Twitter, Facebook. So it'd be kind of cool. Just a little project going on here.
I don't know, film project. It's been a while since I've done a film project, so
Yeah. But I don't know. I was thinking like Movie Talk Productions. I don't know.
I actually was trying to put that in the poster, but it wasn't like fitting very well.
I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with a production name.
I
Throw
did-
out suggestions if you got
I did
them.
name I did make another one. I didn't post it, but on there, on the top, it says Movie Talk Productions.
I don't know. See, I don't know if that works though. I mean,
No, I kind of was thinking of.
I just
one,
gotta
too.
we gotta think of some titles. But like I
I
said,
had one like Red Eye Productions.
I don't know. Well,
Something.
if you have suggestions, tweet us at Movie Talk Radio or on Facebook.
Yeah, one of our social pages. But we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna start things off again with some weekly cinema facts. So don't go away. And we are back.
There's a friggin' fly in the studio. It's
Jeff
that-
Goldblum is back
Yeah,
from
yeah.
like 5 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Help me!
Well, it's time for a little weekly cinema facts for you.
Oh yeah.
Courtney Love insists that the role of the heroin dealer Lance in Pulp Fiction was offered to Kurt Cobain. Tarantino has steadfastly refuted his claim, saying he never met the late Nirvana singer.
That would have been. That movie would have been totally different if it was actually Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, that would have been weird. I mean, he kind of. He fits the
has the look.
description.
He
Yeah.
has to look for it, but I mean, Eric Stoltz had that role perfect. He had it down cold.
Yeah, he did, but that would have been definitely weird to.
Not to mention, I don't
to
think
see.
I don't think Kurt Cobain could have had the same like when he delivered the line I'm looking for a black medical book,
Yeah.
little black fucking medical book.
You kind of sound like him. David Fincher, great director, asked a stuntman to fall down the stairs 12 times in Fight Club for the fight between Edward Norton and Brad Pitt. He later used the first take. Had him do it 12 times
What
to
a
use
jerk.
the first take.
Oh, I've actually I remember we filmed that little short for our brother, that Moon Dreams or whatever.
Yeah.
A scene where I'm literally getting down and dirty in the dirt and
Yeah,
the
where you're
mud.
tripping.
And didn't even use any of it at all. So I did that for nothing.
Well,
so I know
it
how
happens.
that feels.
Well, I mean, he's a stuntman, so.
Yeah, thank God I'm not a stuntman.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have been like, what the F?
But down the stairs 12 times just to use the very first take.
Surprised he didn't break any bones. I would have,
That sucks.
would have hurt.
And finally, the sirens heard in the casino scene of the movie Swingers were police on their way to stop the filmmakers who were shooting without a permit. Kind of
Nice.
interesting. So it makes me feel a little bit better about when we film our Freddy film.
Well, just think, Ed Wood did it too. He's like, you remember the
Yeah,
movie Ed
yeah.
Wood? We don't have a permit.
Run! Yeah. Kind of interesting, though. I never...
Yes.
Kind of a little interesting. Those are this week's weekly cinema facts for
Well,
you.
very cool. And now it's my turn for unscripted movie scenes.
Yeah. Back-to-back...
Back-to-back goodies.
back-to-back
Yes.
segments for
It's
you.
a goody treat.
It really is this
Ooh.
time.
No tricks. Treats this time around. Well, I try to keep it around horror type movies. The first one's from Aliens. Yes. James Cameron, the director.
Mhm.
Chaos and confusion are everywhere after the first attack by the aliens decimate the Space Marines, and their drop ship crashes as the crew tries to get their bearing and fully understand what just happened. Private Hudson, which was played by Bill Paxton, delivers the line, "That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over. What are we going to do now?" The original line actually did not include the game over part and was ad-libbed by Paxton.
Interesting. I think
Yes.
I think I've heard that one before.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the most popular lines. Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've heard
Sound
that
like
one.
Kermit.
He can do Kermit.
No, I know he can, but
Oh.
it sounded like he's like, game over, man.
Game over. And the second one is from Jaws, which was directed by Steven Spielberg, for those of you who don't know.
I don't know how you would not know that, but all right.
So, there's some people out there, man.
Who's Steven Spielberg?
I've never
If
met
you-
anybody
yeah.
that said that to me, but I would be like amazed.
I know people who get him confused with Steven Soderbergh, but that's understandable.
Well, while chumming the waters in an attempt to lure the deadly great white shark within range, Police Chief Brody, which was played by Rose Schneider, gets his first look at exactly how massive the killer shark truly is. Stunned, startled, and filled with fear, he stands up and utters the now famous line to Ochre Captain Quint, which was played by Robert Shaw, completely off script. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Wow, that was off script.
Yes, and turns out he was right.
Wow,
They needed a bigger boat.
That's an interesting.
Yeah, see that? I didn't know. I thought that was actually part of the script.
So did I. I mean, it made sense. It fit the context.
They're gonna need a bigger boat.
Wow. Yeah. See, I like how all of the ad-libbed lines are the most popular ones.
Yeah.
That's just
has nothing to do with the screenwriters. It's all the actors that throwing the iconic lines out there.
Well, very good.
But yeah, that is this week's unscripted movie scenes.
Thank your guy that knows the guy that knows the other guy.
And I mean,
on the website.
This segment's almost over. Sadly, we only got like maybe I think 6 left.
And then what?
And then it's a new segment.
Really?
Yes.
See, I told you.
A new segment.
I told you were gonna run out. You said you would never run out.
But then he said that he did have
the unscripted, but I have more goodies.
Oh, all
for
right.
people out there. Like I said, I have a guy who knows another guy.
I mean, I have like a reoccurring, like I do the actor profile. That's not on every show, but every once in a while I'll throw it in there, or like a filmmaker
I
profile.
figured like I'd do like this, and because I have so many other Deans I could throw.
Yeah, we gotta get more segments on the show.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, once the segment ends, a new one begins.
People can still always ask us questions.
It's a circle of segments.
Yeah, that's always something.
The circle of segments. Yes, please.
Ask us questions.
If you have any questions that want to be answered, we definitely will answer them.
Believe it or not, we are very knowledgeable on film. Believe it or not. Whether we sound like it or not. All right, well, you just mentioned James Cameron with the Aliens unscripted movie scene. Well, his movie Avatar, which we've talked about quite frequently. And we talked about this in the past about Disney getting involved with Avatar. Earlier, I posted something on our Twitter, a picture of their concept for Avatar Land, which is going to be added to the Animal Kingdom at Walt Disney World. So, unfortunately, for California people, we won't see it in Southern California at Disneyland. I think it'd be kind of cool to see this actually.
I know.
Stop hating on Avatar.
Yeah. I know. I'm gonna have to get over it. But no, I'm just kidding.
The story's not that bad.
No, I kind of think it's cool in a way because I did watch video of behind the scenes. Look, they had I can't remember what's his face. One of the Imagineers or whatever they call them. Talking about it, and they showed like pictures, like he kind of showed us during the break, and it looked really cool. Like it's like it would definitely be amazing because I mean they like it's almost identical like when they showed pictures of Cars Land, and you see Cars Land now, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
So I have no doubt in my mind that they could pull this off. Like it looks really cool.
Yeah, if they can pull that off, I want to live there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because they showed. I mean, you showed just like one picture, like the video.
Well, let me talk about it.
Fine.
You can get to it after. Disney announced that there will be at least 2 major components, as Cars Land has, a couple big rides, but the big one being the I can't even remember what the hell it's called, but it's like Test Track. I can't remember what it's called. Radiator Springs Racers. There you go.
Yes.
A boat ride.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. They had a ride where it looked like pirates going through the water.
For someone that hates Avatar, you sure know a lot about it.
Yeah.
I was watching the video, man. Okay, I was bored. I was checking out the news, and I saw that, and I was watching it.
I mean, you have seen the movie, obviously, but
yes.
A boat ride will take riders through the nighttime and gorgeously colored forests of Pandora, and it will heavily feature audio animatronics in the same vein as Pirates of the Caribbean. The second part of this project sounds like a more traditional ride. It will put guests atop of a Banshee, which were those big things that Sam Worthington flew on.
Yeah, the flying animal.
That will fly riders through the skies. It isn't clear whether this will be going for thrills or for the majestic beauty of it, or a possibility of both. But
do we need a ponytail to get on that ride?
I hope not.
Yeah, see, like
you gotta be
great.
or you gotta dress like an Avatar. You gotta be blue or some shit. I don't know.
If Ben Stiller does it, we can do it.
Yeah, we could. I'm suggesting that the Banshee ride. It should. I think it should be a little similar to soaring over California.
Well, yeah, see, that's the first thing that popped in my head.
But it's soaring over Pandora.
Well, yeah, see, that's the first thing I think of. Is like, I mean, I'm not sure how they're gonna pull that off, but
yeah.
You guys remember?
I saw more of the. I saw more.
Top Gun.
Top Gun from Get America. It should be like that.
Yeah, that would be like a roll. Like that'd be kind of cool.
Like I saw more of the boat the ride that they were talking about, like they had pictures of like the boat
Yeah.
going through Pandora or whatever it's called during the day, and then they had like night shots of like when it's all like, lit up, like you're on an acid trip or
Yeah.
But it looks cool.
The thing that I talked to you before the show about was my concern about it is that it's a non-Disney film. I mean, we had seen it in the past with Star Tours and stuff, but I mean, of course, now that's owned by Disney.
Well, that's that's the exact same thing I said
So maybe-
off air. Like
yeah.
Disney, they own everything now, and it's like honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if like they like kick Cameron to the curb and be like, we're taking over Avatar now.
Well, or maybe they'll just buy Skydance Productions and have another production company. I don't know.
Well, seriously, I mean, they have freaking Marvel, they have all of George Lucas's stuff,
Pixar.
they have Pixar.
Yeah.
They might even buy us. Who knows?
I hope.
I'm
That'd
like,
be
here's
awesome.
hoping.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, everyone. But the question I now have is, what other potential non-Disney films do you think could be turned into Disney attractions? I mean, obviously, we've heard things about... I mean, obviously, Disney owns Marvel now, but we're hearing things about Marvel attractions at Disneyland.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot more with Star Wars, we've heard. I mean, those, of course, are now owned by Disney, but, I mean, what are the potential non-Disney... I mean, because Avatar, that's kind of out of left field, that Disney would
It
even
is.
get involved with
I
that.
kind of almost just want to turn around and look at some of my movies and see, like...
Man, I can't even think now about... I mean, it's definitely not out of the question for Disney to do something like that. Now that they're doing Avatar, so I don't know. Maybe tweet us at what you think could possibly be a non-Disney film that can be turned into a Disney attraction. Because I can't think right now.
It honestly, like, it seems like any movie that's being turned into like something, like depending on what studio. I mean, because if you look at it, Universal, they're doing the Harry Potter.
Yeah.
They've done Transformers. They've done like E.T. in the past. Like, I mean, it kind of depends.
Well, Backdraft was a Universal movie.
Well, I'm just saying.
E.T. was E.T. I don't think it was.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I mean, the Harry Potter one, because that's a Warner Brothers. That's their rival.
Yeah.
So that one
I
was
mean,
weird, but
who knows? I mean, honestly, it's gonna be one of those movies like maybe the Hunger Games eventually.
Ooh, there you go.
We'll go from either like we'll go to Universal or I mean, who knows? Maybe Disney. I mean, you never know.
there you go. That's one. The Hunger Games. I don't
see it happening, but I mean, anything's a possibility.
I didn't think Avatar would be a possibility, but
Lord
apparently,
of the Rings would be cool.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. I mean, there's
See, him and I came up with one. What about you?
Yeah, man. What about you?
Wow. You know, I don't know. I'm the one that put the story together. I should have come up with something because I put the question. I guess I should have come up with a possibility.
Yeah, you should have came up with an answer.
I wanted to just hear what you guys had to say because I really don't know. Because I mean, Avatar. I mean, how visually amazing it is. It makes sense. But yeah, the Hunger Games is a good one. Maybe I don't know about a Disney. That's probably something more at Universal or something.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be other projects out there
Yeah. Well.
where I mean they may end up in a theme park one day at Disney.
Well, for people who live in Florida and have Walt Disney World in their backyard, practically, you got to wait a little bit. 2017 is the estimated completion time.
I'll
So,
be here before we know it.
Yeah.
God.
but Animal Kingdom at Walt Disney
2013's
World.
already almost over.
I know, crazy.
Well, moving right along, we've talked about sequels quite often on this show.
Of course.
More than quite often. It's usually
Every week.
every week thing, but we talked about Horrible Bosses sequel.
Yes.
I'm really liking where this thing, like where it's going.
I don't.
I kind of do.
It sounds almost like it's going to be too similar to the first movie.
Kind of in a way, but I mean, like, I don't know. I'm curious because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the chemistry between the three main characters.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel a lot of confidence in this one, but the reason why we're talking about it this week is because they added Chris Pine, which you're not a big fan of.
Well, I mean, it's not that I'm not a fan. I kind of question his acting ability sometimes. Not all the time. I mean, he was obviously Captain Kirk, but...
Yeah.
And you have to have some sort of acting ability to get that role, so... It's just sometimes I think he has his moments, like every actor may or may not have.
Well, Chris Pine has signed a deal to join Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, Charlie Day, and Jamie Foxx in the Horrible Bosses sequel. Chris Pine will play half of a father-son duo who will steal the main character's idea for a new invention. Christopher Waltz was rumored to be up for the father role last week, but he reportedly is not available.
Probably because of the Tarzan movie.
Yes.
Wow, that'd be weird to see Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, see, that would have been cool to see
Yeah.
Christopher, but not gonna happen. Instead, Chris Pine. So it's a new invention that they invented. I'm kind of curious.
Okay, well maybe it doesn't sound. At first, just reading.
If it's not Charlie Day's kitten mittens, then I'm curious to see what the three of them invented.
Well, see, when I was just reading the title of the article, I was assuming that it was just going to be a horrible boss that they have to try and kill. I don't know if that's going to what they have to do again. If they have to just try and kill their bosses again, that'll be kind of boring, I guess.
I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. We just know there's an invention that gets stolen from them. But I mean, it could be the same type of plot, or it could be people trying to kill them now that they're bosses.
That's what I
We don't know.
suggested. Well,
we'll find out November 26, 2014, because that's the release date for the project.
because you know what happens when you have a sequel that follows the first film's structure. We saw that with The Hangover, and we saw how the second one turned out.
Yeah, and the third one you don't even want to bother.
I mean, I still do because I haven't seen it, but I don't know.
Let's put it this way: the third one didn't follow the first two because there wasn't really anything
to follow.
Yeah,
I still want to see it though. I mean, I feel like I have to finish the
let's put it
trilogy.
this way: I mean, the first Hangover was really good, it was up there. Hangover 2 kind of dipped, and then Hangover 3 just crashed and burned.
Sorry, Todd Phillips.
Yeah,
Boy,
went
actually,
out
he
in
should
a-
be
in a bad
he
way.
should be apologizing to us actually.
yes, he should have.
but
But speaking of Chris Pine,
I set that up for you on purpose.
I loved how you always set it up. You
Segue.
Yeah, it's a
Segue.
nice segue. You gave me the layup to like
Slam dunk it, yeah.
slam dunk it in.
An
I
alley-oop.
appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Alley-oop, there you go.
You're welcome.
The reason Chris Pine, he's gonna be one of the main guys for our trailer of the week.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually the main star in our trailer
Yeah.
for the week, and it's Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit, which is Tom Clancy's latest and probably last
Adapted film.
adapted film. Yeah. Which stars Chris Pine, Kevin Costner, and Keira Knightley.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jack Ryan as a young covert CIA analyst uncovers a Russian plot to crash the U.S. economy with a terrorist attack.
Yeah, it's also got Kenneth Branagh,
Yes.
who was what's his name? I forgot it already.
And it's not the first time an actor has played Jack Ryan.
Ben
There's
Affleck, right?
Yeah, Ben Affleck done it. Harrison Ford, I believe, played it as well.
Jack Ryan.
So it's a recurring character, kind of like
Yeah.
James Bond. And it comes out Christmas Day, believe it or not.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna have to compete with. I think Saving Mr. Banks comes out on Christmas Day, so
It's going to be an interesting competition on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Certain movies. But yeah, that is our trailer for the week.
yeah, it was very.
I felt like
it was action packed.
Not only that, but I felt like in honor of Tom Clancy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
of course, yeah. But I'm not a big fan of action films, so I mean, the trailer was. I mean, in terms of the person who edited the trailer, well done, man, well done. But I mean, it's just a lot of action.
I like that.
Well done, man.
Well done.
Consistency.
You sound like the girl from
consistency.
Robin Hood.
Which one? The new one?
No, the one with Kevin Costner. Like, well done.
Yeah, I don't.
After he like shoots an arrow and misses the target.
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, that'd be a cool job to edit a trailer, right? That'd be sick.
I'd rather do the voices like in the trailer, like, coming this summer.
In a world.
One man, one woman must find their car.
You notice how that hasn't? That kind of faded out.
It kind of did. It's more on television now.
Yeah, and now it's just the title sort of thing. But yeah, that used to be a big thing back in the day.
I can do the voice.
Yeah, he can.
I can do it. If you want me to do it for your trailer, I'm available.
He is. He's the man of many voices.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about some Batman and Superman here, because believe it or not, they are filming this weekend, which seems a little early to do so. Because
Really?
yeah.
That quick.
Well, it's not a major scene, but if you're in the Los Angeles area, and you don't already know about this, you have the chance to actually be in the movie.
Ooh.
You will not be paid for, unfortunately.
Oh.
But
Unless you throw like a can at somebody, like
And
John.
you're drunk. And,
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
drunk. There you go.
and then yeah,
Then you could not only like get paid, but you could probably be in it longer.
yeah, maybe. But during this Saturday's football game between East Los Angeles College and Victor Valley College, the stadium will be transformed into Gotham City University. And 2,000 fans in a special section of the stadium will be handed T-shirts so they can stand in for Gotham's most rabid football fans. The report comes from ELAC's campus newspaper, where the college's event and venue coordinator Ernest Burnett tells them the shoot will take only 20 minutes and entirely during halftime. There's no word on whether Henry Cavill or Ben Affleck will actually be part of the scene, but director Zack Snyder did design the t-shirts that bear Gotham City's color of black and gold. Apparently, they'll be faking a game between Gotham City University and their rival Metropolis State University. So, Superman's hometown college and Batman's hometown college.
So we're gonna have another football scene.
Exactly. Yeah.
If they collapse the football field like they did in the other, then I'm gonna be kind of disappointed because it's already been done.
Yeah, of course. In The Dark Knight Rises, it featured its own big football scene, but it actually had real NFL football players like Hines Ward from the Steelers. It took place at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, but they actually had to pay extras. So, kind of cool for the production company. They don't have to pay anybody. So it's kind of a free. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, filming it.
I mean, honestly, personally, like it would be cool to get paid to do that, but like to me,
I do it for free.
You know, well, that's what I'm getting at. Like to me, just the experience alone for something like that, like big movie like that, I'd freaking just the experience alone would be awesome.
Can we keep the T-shirt too? Or
yeah,
I would run.
I'm sure you probably could.
I'd be like, you're not getting this for me. I'm keeping it.
I'm sure they'll let him keep it. And it was designed by Zack Snyder himself. But Burnett, what's his name? Ernest Burnett, the venue coordinator, he said they could have done this on a night when we didn't have a home game, but they wanted to support the school. So it's kind of cool they're getting behind the local school and letting them be a part of something big like
community.
That. Yeah, kind of cool. So I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, they could have gone like, they could have done it at like a UCLA Bruins game or a USC Trojans game, but they decided to go with a smaller college though. So that's kind of cool. So if you're in the Los Angeles area, if you're attending the game already, or if you just want to go now to be a part of it, I'm sure that's going to be a packed
the tickets
game.
are going to be sold out now.
Yeah, but if you're in the LA area, you got a chance to be in Batman vs Superman. Kind of cool. But continuing on the topic of Batman vs Superman, not often do we talk about composers. Sometimes we do, but not a lot. Hans Zimmer, who is one of the elite composers.
He's a legend.
He is. He's a legend. But he's actually unsure about if he will return for the Man of Steel sequel. Speaking with Collider, Zimmer revealed that he has not yet decided if he wants to come back and compose a score for the new film, and that it will at the very least, take a meeting with the director to convince him to do so. In Zimmer's statement, he said, "It's creating a bit of a problem in my head right now. Quite honestly, I've got to sit down with Zach and have a chat with him about what he's trying to do, because what I don't want to do is go back to that well. It's a different Batman, Christian Bale, and what I did with Chris that needs to have its anonymous life. I don't want to go and now appropriate that and put that into the other Batman." So, I mean, I kind of get, I mean, when he did the Man of Steel movie, he kind of had he probably got stressed out because he had to, he didn't know whether to go with the same original Superman theme song, which was written by John Williams. He had to come up with his own. So, I mean, he had to satisfy Superman fans with the theme song because he went with a different one. And you had to kind of,
I know.
You don't want to change it too much.
Sometimes it's like it's either a swing or a miss, like with that. I mean,
I
think he did a good job. I actually enjoyed the theme song for the new Superman better than the original, actually.
Really? Now he has to worry about Batman. Which,
yeah, see, I can understand like where he's coming from on this one, because it's not only just a Batman movie; it's a Superman movie. It's both. So now you're like, okay, it's stacked even higher for me. Like, this is going to be more difficult than just doing a Batman movie or doing a Superman movie. It's both. So, and it's like, you got to like figure out, like, clash them together. What am I going to come up with?
And I mean, because he did the score for Christopher Nolan's Batman. So, I mean, this is the second time. So he has to come up with a whole new score for another Batman. So, I mean, I can understand the dilemma he's got going on here. But, I mean, that would kind of suck to lose a great composer like Hans Zimmer. I mean... But, I mean, I understand the debacle he's in right now. But, I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's pretty heavy, man.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy.
I mean, as a composer, I mean, you would...
You definitely want to have somebody like Hans Zimmer do, like, the music for you. And, like, hopefully he gets that meeting with Zack Snyder and comes up with something to, like, compose the music, because he's one of the best.
Yep. Well, we'll see what happens there, but... moving on here.
Hopefully it just works out though, because I mean, Man of Steel, I liked it.
Yeah,
I
so
think
did
you
I.
guys liked it too.
I'm not
So.
like me personally. I'm not a big Superman fan, and I
never
thought
really
Man
was.
of Steel was awesome.
I did too. It was a lot better than a lot of the recent ones.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, music has a definite. I mean, it's got a big part.
Well, yeah, music plays a big part in movies, and not just in movies, but on like anything, like even on television. Like, if you don't have the right music, it ruins the whole like
the whole experience.
the whole experience, like the emotions that you're going through while watching something. Music plays a big part in that. So,
well, we'll see what he decides.
yes, well, we're gonna talk about Michael Bay right now because this is actually quite interesting.
We're not talking about Transformers though.
No, we're not talking about Transformers.
Which
this
is
actually
exciting.
something that I would love to see. This actually was featured at the Hollywood Reporter this past week, and category kind of got under horror films, as Vic's having problems with Jeff Goldblum. The Fly
This
over
Fly
here.
will not leave me alone.
Believe it or not, Michael Bay actually wants to direct a horror film.
Yeah, that's surprising. You know, you got James Wan leaving horror, and then you want Michael Bay to come into horror. So
Well, believe it or not, I mean, a lot of people kept questioning, like, does he really know how to do it? Well,
Wasn't he part of like Texas Chainsaw or something? Didn't he produce or something?
Bay, as you know, is one of the central producers at Platinum Dunes, which is the company that's behind many of the remakes, like Friday the 13th, The Nightmare on Elm Street, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and the Amityville Horror. So
he's been around it.
he's been around it, and he even went on by saying, I have a great fantasy that I will probably make a reality of directing my own self-financed horror movie. He loves the genre because the movie is the star.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, and now, I mean, if you make a horror movie, it's bound to do well because it's very a popular genre, and it's gonna definitely get you a lot of money. But, I mean, I don't question Michael Bay's directing skills. I mean, we're not fans of Transformers, so I mean, it kind of.
I like them.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I like
see,
them.
some people do, some people
The
don't.
last movie I saw of his was Pain and Gain.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
And, I mean, I can't really blame that all on him.
It was different.
It was different. I mean, it wasn't a horrible movie, but it definitely wasn't, like, the greatest movie. But I would love to see Michael Bay do a horror film.
I think a lot of directors should try horror. I mean, as a screenwriter, it's different. Some people can write certain genres and some can't. But as a director, I think you can do anything, really.
If Kevin Smith can do it, I think anyone can.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be kind of interesting to see.
I definitely would love to see it.
Maybe. I think more directors should try it. Like Steven Spielberg, maybe. I bet he can make a damn good horror film.
I'm sure he could.
But I don't know. It depends what movie, I guess.
Yes.
But
Well, speaking of movies and horror films, last week we gave you top 10 horror films of 2012 to 2013 to check out.
Through IMDb.
Yeah, through IMDb.
It was IMDb's list. And
it was IMDb list, which was kind of weird.
And they had a 2011 movie.
Yeah,
on there
2011 movie in the top 4
for a 2012-2013 list.
Yeah.
So they screwed up there.
And their ratings were like what, like a 4.8?
Yeah,
Check it out
something
now.
like that. So we decided this week we'd give you our top 10 films that we personally think you
Have
should check out,
enjoyed, yeah.
that we have enjoyed
throughout the years.
and it has no year gap. It's pretty much from the 70s or
Throughout
whatever.
film history.
Yeah, throughout film history.
Well, who would like to go first? You need to have an explanation too for why you picked it.
I'll let you guys go first. I mean, since I'm the one that decided like we should
go
do
last?
this, I will go last.
Well, let's just go across the board. You want to go first?
See, I thought we were just coming up with movies. I didn't think the reason was involved. As, besides it being good.
Oh, I know. When I do mine, I'm gonna have to give you guys reasons.
Like besides it being good and enjoyable.
Well, try and come up with a reason if you can.
All right. Well, I have 10, but in no particular order actually. So I'm just gonna start with, I guess, number 10 would be Cujo.
Wow, I've never heard of it.
Cujo, yeah, I
I
think
remember that one.
yeah, I think it's actually coming up on his 20th or 30th year anniversary.
it's the
Coming to
20th.
20th.
It's out of
I
my
think
time.
It's the 20th.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, definitely. It was just growing up, man. Just something about a dog trying to kill you was
That's
kind of.
that's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
see,
It was
that movie
kinda-
almost reminded me a lot of the Pet Cemetery.
At number 9, let's go with The Others. That was the one with
That was a good one.
Nicole Kidman. Yeah.
What do you mean? I am your dog.
It was just creepy.
Yeah, that
It
was
good.
It was just kind of creepy
And it had a
kind
good
of eerie.
twist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very good.
Now
So we
someone
got-
Ding Dong can't even do that no more.
Well, speaking of growing up, one of my favorite movie franchises, you know how you like Freddy. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm more of a Jason kind of guy. So
What's on?
Oh.
Jason, yeah. So Jason, you know, Friday the 13th. I just always called them like Jason movies. I never called them
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. Next one would be 28 Days Later,
That was a good one.
which is
I mean, without that movie, Cillian Murphy would not be around.
Danny Boyle directed that one.
Yes.
it was just well done.
It
Everything-
was.
It looked different from
It-
everything else,
And it was a lot better. The first one was a lot better than the second one. The second one I
Yeah.
didn't really care for.
I mean, it was still okay, but another one from the childhood is It,
Ooh,
I
yeah.
love
which
that
is
movie. Penny Clown Wise.
yeah.
Tim Curry plays a good.
I couldn't go to sleep for like weeks after I saw this movie.
Oh, I
so-
tormented our neighbor with that.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
We'll tell you the story later.
especially when they go into like the sewers and like,
Yeah.
there's like a
Yeah.
little like balloons there. And that's why I hate clowns because of that movie.
Well, me
To this
personally,
day.
I don't like clowns either, but like I laugh at that movie because I mean,
I'm sure if I saw it now, I'd be like, why was I?
oh
scared
yeah,
of
I
this?
mean,
But-
honestly, I would look at it and whatever, but like it's funny because I'll even go on YouTube and like they have like scenes from that movie where like people are like
Is it voiced over?
voiceovers, and
Oh,
it's
boy.
hilarious to watch.
Cha. Let's see what else do I have on here. 2004's remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Nice.
The one where they're in the mall. And
Yeah.
Again, it was just another well done movie. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, see, that was one of the few movies where the remake and
It was just as good
as
as
It was
the
like
original.
up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's hard to do.
yes.
It's actually another remake. Actually, 2010's The Crazies with Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, I never saw that
Yeah,
one.
that one I didn't really care for.
I mean, it was
see-
still.
I didn't see it actually.
I mean, it was still good.
It was a swing and a miss for me, I think.
Well, check it out. Is it on Netflix? I don't know. It
I
probably.
think it is.
It probably is.
I think it is.
I have The Strangers,
That one I enjoyed.
which was really good up until the ending.
Yeah, the
I
ending
thought the
was
ending
a
was a
little
little-
weak. I think the ending was really weak, but like, yeah.
But overall, up until that
Overall,
point,
it
it was,
had a good premise and it was good until the end.
I'm
I
gonna,
agree with that.
I'm gonna throw in that wild card I was talking about
Yeah.
earlier. Dead Space, the video game, the first one.
I never
And-
played it.
See, I can understand the video, like, because there are some games I played where I'm like, it kind of like a little creepy.
You were scared to like turn a corner. You were scared every time you heard a noise. It took like weeks to finish it just because you were scared. Put on a
Yeah.
diaper and you can play it.
Maybe they should make it into a movie. Has it?
Probably. I don't know. I'm sure.
They maybe
There's
have, or
actually
talk
some
about it.
animated movies. Dead Space Downfall is on Netflix.
I mean, because
and
there
that
have
one's
been a
pretty
few
good.
games where I've played where like I've like creeped out by or like
Yeah, but Dead Space, the
Have you
first one was just
Have you ever played Slender? Ever heard
like
about
the
that?
Slender Man
Yeah.
guy or whatever.
That game.
I've heard about it.
See, that should be turned into a movie
yeah, it should.
because it's that's creepy.
And then last but not least, we were actually talking about this earlier, is Pandorum,
Yeah.
which is also, looked a little different as well. I like original
Yeah.
kind of, horror movies, and that was one of them. So
It has
altogether, that is, Norman Reedus from The Walking
It's
Dead.
got Daryl in
Yes.
it. So
So there we
Daryl
go.
Fans.
In no particular order, my top 10.
good list.
Yep.
Had the wild card in there too. That was a. I
I'm
didn't
telling you, man,
expect that
try
one.
playing Dead Space with the lights off at midnight. And
Yeah, like I said,
Emma,
I've had a
can
few
you get
games
back
where
to
I
me on
played
that one?
where
Yeah.
back in the day it spooked me.
My list may be a little controversial from the start.
you have Showgirls at number 10.
Let's hear it.
At number 10, I have 2007's Paranormal Activity. I thought you guys might have gotten on me on that one.
The first one, like it I can't really necessarily get on you. If it was Blair Witch, I'd probably be
No.
all over your ass right now. But I mean, the first one, it was different and it was clever. But like after the first one,
I actually have that on. It actually made my list, but I took it off for some other ones. So
well, like I said, to me, like it took me a while because I probably could have done like at least maybe like 20 to 30.
just the whole paranormal like ghost thing just creeps me out
At the
too.
time it came out, it had so much hype, and it had never been done like that before. Where it was like a docudrama sort of thing. So I had to put that on my list. At number 9, I had 2009's Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah,
Which-
that one.
Also a good one.
Had a great ending,
Yeah.
and it was just
See, that
it was
one
genius.
just missed my list.
Mm-hmm.
At number 8, I had 2012's The Possession, which was a little. Was it a Sam Raimi film? I believe it was.
I'm pretty sure it was.
that the
That's on
one-
Netflix
Is
too.
that the one with the box or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
that was
Okay,
on
I haven't
Netflix.
seen that one, but I
True
want to.
story.
It's on
Yeah.
Netflix.
It was a true story, and I don't know. I thought it was really well done. Good ending. I liked it a lot. Number 7, I have 2000. I was actually watching this today. 2010's Insidious, the first one. I don't know.
I was watching some of it too.
James Wan is a genius, and Lee Wannell, genius. It was just one of the greatest horror films. At number 6, I have its sequel, Insidious Chapter 2, which came out this year, 2013. I liked it better than the first one, obviously. It's higher on my list. I just liked how it jumped from the timeline, and it had a lot to do with the first film, obviously. But
I still haven't seen those, but I want to.
you really need to. They're really
Well,
great.
once Netflix steps it up, I can watch those.
Well, like I said, if you
Change by to
yeah,
the UK.
you can do it on that. At number 5, I have 1968's the original Night of the Living Dead. It really set the tone for zombies. I thought at the time.
It's a good one.
At the time, it was
to get you, Barbara.
yeah, it was definitely a Fright Factory film there. At number 4 was Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 film Psycho. I thought using a human being as the villain, like as a, I mean, that was a horror film where there was like no monsters or anything like that. It was a human being.
Yeah.
I think definitely well. Number 3, 2013's The Conjuring, another James Wan film. I just thought that was amazing. Based off another true story. I thought it was. He's got his thing. I really hope he will do more horror films. At number 2, this one's going back 1931. The original Frankenstein with Boris Karloff.
Nice.
Because I mean, a lot of people might look back and think, "Oh, that movie's boring," but at the time that came out, it was the most terrifying thing.
A lot of people got to think too. Like some of these movies when they came out, like obviously
they hadn't seen things like that before.
Well, yeah, not just that. But, like the times have changed. Like now, like you look back at some of those movies and like that's not scary. But yeah, back in that day, seeing stuff like that was terrifying.
Yeah, at the time, people had they were like parents back then. They wouldn't let their kids watch that. It was terrifying.
Not at all.
And the fact that he doesn't talk is just. Man, Boris Karloff was a great.
And that's not an easy thing to act without speaking.
Yeah, he had lines at first.
Yeah, he didn't want
them exactly. Yeah. And at number 1, I have 1973's The Exorcist. Scared the crap out of me when I watched it. I was like 9. At the time, again in the 70s, a film like that had not been done, and it scared the living hell out of people.
You and I actually have some similarities on our list.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, at number 10, because I'm a big fan of it, I grew up watching it. It's the street that's just right near our house, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love the original.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. I grew up watching that, so obviously that's on my list.
And you have to have it in there since we're going to be doing our own version.
Exactly. At number 9, I had Insidious 2, because again, big fan of James Wan. That was a good film. Not as good as the first one, in my eyes, but just as good. At number 8, this is where you kind of was questioning it off, but
I love the movie.
If you think about it, it's almost identical, like Psycho.
Yeah.
It's about a serial killer.
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs.
I was actually watching that movie today. It was on TV. Yeah, I love the movie. I guess I never really put it in the horror.
Yeah,
I can see it being a horror movie.
Yeah. A lot of people don't really necessarily, like, to me, I saw it more as like a drama type thing.
Thriller.
Yeah, thriller. But yeah, it is considered a horror film. At number 7, I have the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, see, I wasn't a big fan of the Texas Chainsaw movie.
Well, see, I wasn't a big fan of the later ones, but when I saw the original one, that scared the bejesus out of me. Like,
I mean, if you put yourself in those situations, like, yeah, a lot of it, it's scary.
My pants.
I thought we were in that situation last week when we.
Oh my God, I know.
Right.
When we went to the Byron Hotel.
At number 6, I had the original Insidious. Because that was a damn good movie.
Yeah.
Number 5, I had The Conjuring. True story. Great film. James Wan.
Genius.
Yeah, genius. At number 4, I have The Shining.
That's the one that shocked me the most.
Why does that shock you the most?
Well, I don't know.
Here's Johnny!
I mean, people consider it a horror film, obviously, but, I mean, a lot of people... That movie won a lot of Razzies. I don't know. I mean, I love Stanley Kubrick, and I love Jack Nicholson.
It's a cult classic.
But I don't know. People really have a lot of more bad things to say about that movie.
I actually enjoyed it. It's a cult classic. I don't know. To me, I felt like, yeah, it's not one of the greatest films, like, horror-wise, but, I mean, to me, I think that's one of the, like, movies where it showed the ability of Jack Nicholson coming out of his shell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
far,
agree,
I haven't disagreed with any of you yet, so...
Number 2. This is where it kind of got hard for me.
You just skipped number 3.
Oh, sorry. Number 3.
Scared him so much, he skipped 3.
Yes. At number 3, I have the original Haunting.
Yeah.
And because of this movie, we have that special effect at the Haunted Mansion with the doors.
Yep.
Looking like they're about ready to just explode in our face.
Yep.
So, thank you for that, The Haunting. At number 2, this got tough for me. Like, I couldn't figure out which one would be number 1 and number 2. But at number 2, I have Poltergeist, the original.
The creepy part about it is what happened on set.
Yeah, I was actually going to even talk about that. Like, that's another thing that's kind of creepy about it, is while making the movie, they had so many things that happened that went badly wrong. They called it the Poltergeist Curse. Mm-hmm. They even had like a whole documentary on the E! True Hollywood Story about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people have died now.
Yeah.
There's not many left from the cast.
Yep. A lot of strangeness there.
Fatalities. Do it. I know you wanted to do it, so do it.
Fatalities. That's pretty good.
That was pretty good. And again, last but not least, at number 1, same thing that you had, The Exorcist. Because when I first saw that, it scared the bejesus out of me. And honestly, I mean, now I can't really watch them like the Exorcist, because to me it's one of those things that's been overdone with all like the Rosemary and the Exorcism, Emily Rose, and so on and so forth. But back then,
yeah, it had never been done before.
Yeah, it never been done before. And seeing Linda Blair, I think is her name.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember her name. I've drawn a blank.
I think
where
so.
She's coming down the stairs backwards.
Crab walking.
Yeah, like a crab. That was creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Yeah, see, now it's been overdone where people are possessed. But yeah, at the time, never been done before, and it was horrifying. And it was a really good movie. And it was actually a book before.
Yes, it was.
So.
And it was a true story.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, that is my list. That was hard for me to do. Like I said, I could have done like 20 or 30.
Can you name a couple movies that you maybe like, dropped off at the last second?
That I dropped off at the last second? I would have to say, even though like I'm not a big fan of the later stuff, I would say the original Saw movie was good.
Yeah.
Different.
That
was good.
That was James Wan.
I had The Haunting in Connecticut. I was going back and forth with that one because that one was actually pretty good. So
Drag Me to Hell was one on my list that didn't make it because
I think we covered all bases though. Really.
I mean, I can name a lot more that I've enjoyed, like In the Mouth of Madness, Event Horizon. I mean, there's
actually inspired Dead Space. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's like so many I could keep mentioning, but like
even Michael Jackson's Thriller video, like growing up back then, all them zombies and stuff.
That was
like
creepy back in the day.
Right?
Yeah, well,
because it was Michael Jackson.
Hey, it was zombies. I'll talk about the King of Pop that way.
Well, I could definitely I could see us doing this for Christmas movies.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to. This is definitely like
we definitely got to start doing some top 10s. Like
yeah, we're going to
greatest.
We're going to
gangster movies, thriller, that sort of thing.
We will. This is only the first of many.
All right,
that was ours. So definitely check these out. Some of them are on Netflix. Some of them you may have to like do your little research, maybe buy it or rent it somewhere.
But a new reoccurring segment on Movie Talk, the Movie Talks Top 10.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes, very good indeed.
Good picks, guys.
Well,
back to the news.
Yes, back to the news.
We're almost done here.
Yes. Going on an hour and a half.
Wow, yeah.
Biopics. We always say that they are...
You can't go wrong.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with them. They're...
Well, sometimes you can.
Depending on how badly you do. But most of the time, you can't go wrong on them. Oliver Stone got another biopic.
Did The Doors?
Yeah, he did The Doors. He's actually done quite a few.
Yeah.
But he
did the JFK one.
He did JFK, Nixon.
Yeah.
Born on the 4th of July.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Really good movie.
He's a good filmmaker, yeah.
He is talking about doing a Martin Luther King Jr. biopic with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, see, we've talked about this biopic for a while, but now that we're getting some names attached, that's when things start to get interesting.
Yeah, things are really starting to pick up.
And Jamie Foxx he played Ray, and he won an Academy Award for.
Yeah, so he
knows how to do a biopic.
He very well could win another Oscar.
I could see it. I mean, it's different when it's an original character and you have to kind of read the context and get into the character. But when you're playing a historical figure, you can really get into the character, as he did with Ray. Won an Oscar.
Yeah, he won an Oscar, and I mean,
I could see him winning one for this.
He's actually he had a smaller part. He didn't play the main part, but
in Ali.
Yeah, he was in Ali with a small part where Will Smith played.
Jamie Foxx is he's a pretty solid actor.
Yeah, he is.
And he when I first saw him, he was in that.
He was Shanae on In Living Color.
Shanae in Living Color, yep. Exactly.
I got you.
And I mean, he's prevailed.
Yeah.
He's an A-list actor in my book.
He was great in Django.
Yes.
Hey, was he Shanae? No, that was Martin. Was Shanae Martin or which one was?
See, honestly,
it's been so long.
It's been so long.
Just leave it at that.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But I would love to see that one. I mean, both. I mean, Jamie Foxx obviously has some
Well, I mean,
biopic
if you think
history,
about-
and so does Oliver Stone.
I mean, if you think about it, all of them have been done except for Martin Luther King. I mean, you had Malcolm X.
Yep.
You had Muhammad Ali. You need Martin Luther King.
You really do. And I think that I mean, obviously it's not official, but if you got Jamie Foxx and Oliver Stone, you can already start talking some Oscars.
Yeah.
Already.
I mean, it's probably. I mean, it should have been done probably in my eyes.
He
like,
should
a
have
lot
been one of
sooner.
the first ones. Yeah.
It should have been,
Yeah.
because I mean, he's
He's kind of important.
he is important.
Yeah, yeah.
He really like changed history.
Yeah, during the civil rights movement, absolutely. I mean, I'm surprised Spike Lee didn't jump on the chance to do this one.
Yeah, I
they
mean,
did
honestly,
Malcolm X.
I'm surprised like it took this long, but I mean, better late than never, I guess.
If not Jamie Foxx, who else could you see?
Michael B. Jordan.
That's
I was
exactly.
about to. Yeah,
Michael B.
that's
Jordan, because he like you got to put him in anything now, because
Yeah.
he's one of those actors that just like, oh, let's throw him in this, throw him in that, because I mean, people love him.
That would be. I think Jamie Foxx is probably the most qualified.
He's
No.
about the right age too.
Yeah, he
He
is.
is. I
Denzel's
mean,
a little bit older now.
I
That's,
think
that's the other one who I was
Yeah.
thinking was Denzel.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that
Or
too.
maybe Will Smith.
Will Smith, I can't really see. Denzel, I could like, because he has like the facial
Yeah.
appearance.
Martin, he had a kind of a bit big of a rounder face.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamie Foxx doesn't really have that too much. I don't know if they would probably have to do a little bit more like prosthetic makeup. But,
Probably.
But I don't know. That's definitely exciting to talk about. And I hope we hear some confirmations on that soon.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't Shanae that he played; it was Wanda. So
Wanda.
Wanda. Yeah, I got you. It was Wanda, so I had to clear that up. So
All right, that's good. All right, well, we can't have a movie talk radio show without talking some Star Wars. Kind of a little concerning news.
I heard about this. There's actually, I'll let you continue, but then I'll go on.
chime in.
Yeah, I'll chime in my
2 cents.
25 cents.
Because it's worth more than 2 cents.
Oh yeah, it is.
While appearing on Graham Norton's BBC Chat show this week, Harrison Ford, who was also actually joined by Benedict Cumberbatch,
Yep. I saw the video.
which I don't.
I watched the video.
that made me think a little bit more about
Oh, yeah,
the two
I
of them
did
being
too.
together. So
I did too.
Ford was less enthusiastic when asked about Star Wars Episode VII. In fact, he says he has not quite made the choice over whether or not he'll agree to play Han Solo in the new film. When 7 months ago, he said, "I think it's almost true. I'm looking forward to it. It's not in the bag yet, but I think it'll happen, and I'm delighted." So, a little change in thought here.
Well, I watched the video. He pretty much like, because I remember, you guys remember when I talked to you about like him being on the Conan O'Brien show, and like Conan tried to like get something out of him, and he like just pretended to be like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He did the exact same thing on this show. He was playing coy, like pretending to like not know like what's going on.
Well, I mean, he did say not quite made the choice. So, I mean, he talked about it a little bit. Had to.
A little bit, yeah. I think he's playing coy, and he wasn't the only one that actually did that. Benedict Cumberbatch did it as well. He was asked like, I heard that you were being talked about into the Star Wars, and like he kind of like
Yeah, I mean, whenever you're an actor or an actress is rumored to be in something, they can't really say anything.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean you can't really say anything because like they want it under wraps.
And I mean, I don't. But just the fact that he actually said not made. I mean, like the lack of enthusiasm. I don't know if it's like it might be due to the fact that Abrams is kind of his priority is to bring in the new actors instead of he'll worry about the original cast later. He needs new actors. I mean, we're hearing about auditions every week with all these actors and actresses. But another thing is something that you could think about. He might be trying to stall things because he's been recently promoting his new film Ender's Game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he might fear that a Star Wars announcement will kind of draw attention away from Ender because he wants his movie to do well.
Of course.
So, I mean, that might be one thing. But
I mean, if you look at it this way, like this, I mean, it's not in our news, but like there's been recent like talks about him. Like he's even said like he wants to come back as Indiana Jones.
yeah.
So I mean, if he's wanting to come back as Indiana Jones, damn well he's gonna do Han Solo again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point. Like, he wants his movie Ender Game to do well, so he's going to put Star Wars on the back burner for right now.
It was like the same thing with Bryan Cranston and the Soul Superman thing. They didn't want to make anything official because they didn't want to take away from Breaking Bad.
So how's your hair?
We still haven't heard anything.
So-
yeah.
Oof.
we're good. We're fine. But what I thought was really peculiar was the fact that it was Harrison Ford and Benedict Cumberbatch on the same show. That's kind of iffy, right? That's like, why?
A little weird, yeah.
Could have just been
Well,
a coincidence.
It could be coincidence because, I mean, he was on the show to promote Fifth Estate.
Yeah.
And he was there for Ender Game. So,
But, I mean...
I know, it is kind of weird.
But, I don't know. Out of all the rumors I've heard, I want the Benedict Cumberbatch one to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Because...
Oh, yeah, Harrison Ford, like, even gave him a big compliment on the clip that I watched of that show.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Hopefully Harrison Ford is on board for this, as well as Benedict Cumberbatch and all the other rumors we've heard. But this past week, we've also heard some more potential titles. I've heard, I mentioned A New Dawn. That's one title that was talked about.
Is that a song?
A New Dawn? Probably. A lot of things are songs.
Probably.
It's a new dawn, it's a new day.
But Latino Review are floating around possibilities for episode 7 titles. One of them...
Latino Review.
Yeah, they got their shit down. Star Wars Episode 7, Return of the Sith. And the other one is Star Wars Episode 7, Rise of the Jedi.
Return of the Sith.
Return of the Sith.
So obviously, if that's the case, then we know we're gonna see what's his face and then
Palpatine.
Yeah, Sith Lord.
Yeah, Darth Sidious. The rumor is that these were the titles that George Lucas had in mind.
Of course.
Before that,
Recycled ideas.
Yeah.
Before Disney even purchased Lucasfilms, this is the titles he wanted before that even happened. I mean, and of course, while Disney and Abrams, I mean, they're not obligated to use those titles, but
Star Wars: The Return of the Empire Strikes Back.
But recently we've heard that George Lucas has been talking to Abrams nonstop about Star Wars. So I mean, he could be putting those titles in his ear.
See, when I hear that, I almost like. I'm surprised Robot Chicken hasn't. I'm sure they will eventually. Where like it's J.J. Abrams at home and like he's getting a phone call like every day from like George's like, hey, I have another idea for Star Wars.
Well, of course. I mean, like Abrams said, he didn't have. I can't remember the creator's name of Star Trek. He didn't have him because he was passed away. He's fortunate enough to have George Lucas to talk Star Wars. But the other interesting thing about these potential titles is how, different they are. Like they kind of, how they oppose each other. I mean, Rise of the Jedi and then Return of the Sith. They kind of butt heads a little bit. It's kind of contradicting.
Unless you do one movie and then the other.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Episode 7 should be titled Rise of the Jedi, and then Episode 8 should be called Return of the Sith. But I don't know, just or backwards or something. I don't know how they. I don't know about the script. I know nothing about it, but I don't know.
I think it kind of depends what's like
the story. Obviously,
what's the story in the script, and then you obviously have your title.
But we've heard about last week the auditions with lightsabers and people becoming Jedi. So I think Rise of the Jedi would make a little more sense.
See, when I hear like auditions lightsaber, I think of that one YouTube clip.
Oh my god,
with the kid where he's like doing all those moves with his lightsaber.
He was emotionally damaged from that video. Did you know that? He was very upset about that being made fun of. So
hasn't Harrison Ford said that he wants Han Solo to die? So
to die?
Right? Isn't
Probably.
That what he said? Like he wants him to move.
Yeah.
So what if
I have not heard that actually?
Kid, you know what? Like people made fun of him, but honestly,
he's going back to the kid.
I had an arch here.
No, I'm just saying, like, a lot of people made fun of him, but, like, I give him a lot of, like, credit for even doing that and putting that on the web.
He didn't know he was being filmed. It was filmed without him knowing and put on the web without him knowing.
He's considered now a YouTube
he's famous
star.
off of it now.
He's famous off of it.
But
and
people,
honestly, like, you know what?
I don't know, it's controversial.
He's
it
like
is controversial, but still. I just wanted to clear that.
No, well, I think I heard something about Harrison Ford wants to come back if Han gets killed. So what if Benedict does it? And that kind of starts off like a whole new storyline. That'd be kind of cool.
They know everything.
Yeah.
They know whether they're in the movie or not.
Benedict needs to be a Sith Lord. That's all I gotta say.
I will protest if he's not in the film.
He's got to be like the brother of Darth Maul.
Yeah.
The brother of Darth Maul.
Yeah, we're gonna protest and send it.
There you go. That's my 25 cents in there.
We're gonna get a petition and send it to Obama if Cumberbatch is not in the film.
And he's got to be Darth Maul's brother.
But we got one more story before we get to the new releases, and it's about Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
I don't know if you heard these news. Brian did.
Yes, I did.
Edgar Wright's Ant-Man, which has been talked about for quite some time, and this is kind of makes me think because I've already seen some still footages of Ant-Man, so I don't know if they already have an Ant-Man, but they're talking about like they don't have one yet. But sources have told Variety that Marvel is starting to get serious about finding a role to play the incredible shrinking superhero and are now considering Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Paul Rudd for the part. According to the trade, there is a possibility that a third actor could enter into the race for the part, but that for now, Gordon-Levitt and Rudd are the two main contenders. Both are expected to go in and meet with both Marvel executives and write one more time before the choice is made. Though recently, Gordon-Levitt recently denied the rumors, as a lot of actors do. Gordon-Levitt made a statement saying, there are always rumors. I talk a lot about my future projects, so if you haven't heard me talk about it, it means it's nothing but a rumor. People like to write about rumors.
Makes sense.
What happened to Simon Pegg? Was that just
He even cleared that up.
Ow.
He said he was there for a podcast. I don't know if I totally buy it yet. But
just give Simon Pegg more roles, please.
Yeah.
Well, he has. He's been in a lot of things, but honestly, even he says he's in a podcast, but we don't necessarily know that. He could be covering his tracks because with Marvel, you seem like you have to do that.
But I mean, Joseph Gordon-Levitt may have denied the rumors, but
it's not for sure. We don't know.
Like I said,
they have to cover the tracks.
Exactly.
Because it's Marvel.
Exactly.
Marvel will kill you if you spoil anything.
Exactly. Actors and actresses always deny any sort of rumor that has their name attached, even though it may be more than a rumor.
Sorry, Warwick Davis. I tried to fight for you in this role, but I failed.
What I find, Paul Rudd is almost 10 years older than Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And Rudd has really no action experience versus Gordon-Levitt, who has...
Yeah.
He's been in The Dark Knight Rises, Looper, and Premium Rush, which all had their fair share of action scenes. But Paul Rudd, he's more of a comedic actor.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it doesn't quite suit the role, as we've seen. A lot of comedic actors take on superhero roles and fail, like Ryan Reynolds in The Green Lantern. So I don't know about. I don't know.
That was pretty bad.
I don't know about the transformation from comedic acting to a superhero.
I would say Ryan Reynolds, but I mean
that was terrible.
I mean, I'm not defending that. I'm not not even going there.
But he's a comedic actor.
I'll give you that, but I'm not going there. Like Marvel, I can't really like. They have a lot of interesting people that they've picked. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is one prime example. You had John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
Who's also a comedic actor.
Before he was a comedic actor, he was a dramatic actor.
Still, most people...
He's just one of those actors that can do anything.
Well, he can. I'm just saying, like...
He was nominated for an Oscar.
I'm just saying, like, with the people that they've picked in their Marvel movies, like, you can't really question it.
I question the Paul Rudd one. Especially the fact that the differential in age, they don't really know what they're going for. I mean, Paul Rudd is totally, obviously older than Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
That's all for you, though. I mean, age is not really a thing, because there's some movies where you have adults playing teenage kids, so, like, to them, age doesn't mean shit.
But, in my opinion, Simon Pegg, he would be the perfect fit. I mean, he's...
Oh, yeah.
Him and Edgar Wright they're pretty much best friends. He's directed the film... He directed Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End, and 14 episodes of Space, all of which Simon Pegg were in. And then Simon Pegg was at a Marvel podcast. Yeah, right.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's... I bet you anything, I bet you Simon Pegg is the Ant-Man. Because honestly, like, Vin Diesel, when he had his meeting with Marvel, he said, it was for this. And it's like, no. And it turned out, bam. So I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg. Men's Warehouse guy. Guarantee it.
Well, I mean, Simon Pegg's been in a lot. Mission Impossible, Star Trek. He's going to be on Mob City. So, I think that's the clear-cut choice, I think.
Yes. Hear, hear.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yes.
But that is the news.
And we are down for new releases. We have 3 movies to talk about. I think I'll do the Stallone movie first.
All right.
Get out of the prison now.
Yes.
Then that was with the sick voice too.
Pretty good.
Sorry that I've been coughing.
I looked over and I'm sitting next to Vic. I thought it was Arnold Schwarzenegger for a second.
Imagine that voice when I'm not sick. Imagine that.
Wow.
Put that out there.
Put that cookie down!
My God, I got Arnold Schwarzenegger sitting next to me on
Arnold
both sides.
Clones. I'll see that was just that one.
Can anyone do Stallone?
Adrian.
That Vic's doing the best one. Yeah.
Check out my new movie. Yeah, I can't do Stallone. Sorry. Escape Plan. This is the movie we're talking about, which stars Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, 50 Cent, believe it or not, and Jim Caviezel.
Who was Jesus?
Yes, Jesus. He's in this movie.
He was struck by lightning on the
and
set
now
of
he's
the movie.
In prison. When a structural security authority finds himself set up and incarcerated in the world's most secret and secure prison, he has to use his skills to escape with help from the inside. And this prison is like the weirdest prison I've ever seen.
I think in the future, this is something the prisons might look like.
Like,
though.
I swear to God, I feel like they need to have like a comedic scene with Ron Burgundy where he's like, "I'm in a glass case of emotion," because it is. It sells that are in glass cases.
Which was the quote last week,
Yeah.
actually.
Especially with Arnold and Sylvester, there's like no English being spoken at all.
I know.
It's just like
It's a foreign film.
broken
It's
English.
a foreign film.
exactly.
This is like Tango and Cash Part 2.
Ugh.
Another movie that's coming out this Friday is The Fifth Estate.
Which I'm very excited about.
Benedict Cumberbatch and Daniel Bruhl. A dramatic thriller based on real events that reveals the quest to expose the deceptions and corruptions of power that turned an internet upstart into the 21st century's most fiercely debated organization, WikiLeaks.
I'm so mad right now.
Why?
Because I knew this movie was coming out, but it just occurred and I had an epiphany. I forgot to put in a story. There was Julian Assange, who Benedict Cumberbatch is playing.
Yeah.
He's being held exile right now in London. He's in trouble right now for what he did.
Oh, he's always in trouble.
Yeah, but
I can't remember a time where he wasn't in trouble.
he actually sent a letter to Benedict Cumberbatch about the movie, and I freaking forgot about it.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, he
wasn't too happy about the movie? Really?
no, not at all.
Well, you know what?
Think about if a movie was done about you.
Well, you know what? Honestly, I think Karma's a bitch.
A little bit.
Honestly, he did something he wasn't supposed to do, so honestly, this is the society's way of getting back at him.
I don't believe in karma or magic, so
Or magic.
I heard that somewhere.
But
yeah, I can't remember. I heard that somewhere too, but I don't remember what it was from.
man, that really makes me mad. I forgot about the
Well,
story
you
though.
mentioned it anyways. You plugged it in.
A little bit.
It'll be next week's topic.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there you go. I could talk about it next week, I guess.
But yeah, definitely a movie that's got a lot of controversial plots to it.
But Benedict Cumberbatch looks exactly like him,
Yes, he does.
and oh my god, I can't wait.
The world needs to know, or something.
That's
like
what.
that.
Yeah, that's the.
It sounds better live. I promise you.
needs to know.
Courage is contagious.
Courage is contagious.
He's proven to be a damn good actor.
He's
though.
a damn good actor. But last but not least, our final film for the week, a horror film.
Fitting.
Yes, very
A
fitting.
remake.
A remake.
Stephen
of
King's.
Stephen King classic, Carrie, which stars Chloe Grace Moretz and Julianne Moore. And it's a reimagining of the classic horror tale about Carrie White, a shy girl outcast by her peers and sheltered by her deeply religious mother, who unleashes tentacanic terror on her small town after being pushed too far at her senior prom.
This is what, like the 8th remake of it?
Honestly,
I think second one.
I think it's only actually
Second?
I think it's the first time it's been remade.
Really?
It
Yeah.
probably
Cool.
has. I wouldn't know. Wasn't a big fan of the original.
Yeah.
I want to say at least twice. It's been
Um,
remade now.
Probably. I wouldn't know. Again, but
Guesstimation.
I'm not a big fan of the Carrie thing, but
This is the second time.
Ow.
but I don't know. I see a
Or
lot of.
actually, no, this is the first time. I'm sorry.
I see a lot of. I can guarantee a lot of people are going to be in the seats for this. It's a horror film.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I mean,
I'm not a big fan of it. Like I said, I'm not like I didn't care for the original. I'm not big on the whole plot, but I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to actually see the movie and see where it goes. Like how well it was done.
I don't know about this one though. I think it's definitely big for Chloe. It's a big role, I think.
Oh yeah,
For her.
it's iconic role.
Yeah. All right, predictions. I'm trying to keep my title.
Well,
Since you won, you got to go first.
yeah,
Yeah.
the winner always goes first.
Alrighty, here. I changed it actually before the show started, so I'm hoping that my first guess wasn't right. Number 4, I got The Fifth Estate. Number 3, I got Captain Phillips. At number 2, I got Carrie. And at number 1, for the third week in a row, I got Gravity.
Wow, I have almost the exact same thing you do, but except I have number 1 and 2 flipped. I have Gravity dropping to number 2
Wow.
and Carrie at number 1.
Yeah, I got Carrie number 1, Gravity 2, Captain Phillips 3, and Fifth Estate 4.
So him and I got the exact same
Pretty
thing. Me and
much.
Vic, come on, Vic, let's do this.
I think Gravity is it's the talk of the movie theaters right now.
It is the talk of movie theaters, but you
As
know
well
what?
it should be too.
Yeah.
It should be, but honestly, the way I look at it, if it's not an animated film, horror movies, they always...
It doesn't really seem like a horror film. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's nothing scary about it. It's just it's kind of like, what was that movie called? Chronicle. Was it Chronicle? Where people did weird shit. I can't remember what
Michael
it's
B.
called.
Jordan.
Yeah,
it was actually that one was actually good.
Dane DeHaan.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean,
Chronicle.
I don't know, like, to me...
Where you
like,
can move things.
It's one of
Telekinesis.
those teenage
Yeah.
movies. It's a teenager flick.
Is it PG-13? Because that probably has
think
a
so.
lot to do with
Probably.
it.
Yeah, I think it's
honestly,
PG-13.
it's going to be one of those teeny bopper movies where a lot of the teenagers are going to go see on the weekend just for a little fright night.
That's kind of what I'm banking on. So.
That's exactly. That's the way I'm thinking right now. Like, because honestly, like, a lot of, like, every horror film I've seen recently, a lot of people went to go see on the weekends. I mean, we had, like, the Insidious, we had The Conjuring, and when I went to saw Evil Dead, it just, the auditorium is packed.
All right. Well, I mean, you gotta. The second, or this will be the third week Gravity is out now. The first week it made 55. Second week only a $12 million drop. So it's gonna have to have a big drop in order for Carrie to get number one. So
No, I think it's
We'll see, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out.
We
Something's
shall
gotta
see.
cool off.
and to the
Yes.
quote.
Before we leave our show, the quote that we opened up with was from the original Dawn of the Dead,
In the quote.
1978.
And the
when
quote-
there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
Yep. Dawn of the Dead, 1978.
Yes. And on that note,
One of the films I said where the remake and the original were
yes,
neck
just
and
as
neck.
good. But on that note, that is the end for our show.
Pretty long one.
A
Very
show.
long, almost 2 hours.
Yes. Definitely check out the new releases: The Fifth Estate, Escape Plan, and Carrie. Pick up the DVD releases: Pacific Rim and The Heat. Definitely check us out on our Facebook page, our Instagram, our Twitter, our Tumblr page.
It's everything, and then / Movie Talk Radio.
Yes, check us out. Leave us your questions, and we will answer them on the air. Definitely check out for our future project, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Check out the trailer of the week. Did you already say that?
Yeah, check out the trailer of the week.
Check out
Jack
Slither.
Ryan, Shadow Recruit.
Check out Slither on
Yes.
Slither.
Big
Netflix,
pick.
yeah.
Yep. There you go.
On that note, that is the end of our show. Until next time, be your own critic, and that is a wrap.
And remember, consistency. Consistency.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Stallion Radio Network.